Where's the strangest place you've lost your car keys? Inside the refrigerator? The washer or dryer? The trunk of your car? The kitty litter box? Well, good news, because even if you've lost your keys on the moon, you can still unlock your car and get where you're going with available digital key in the 2023 all-new Kia Niro EV. Farther for all. To learn more, visit kia.com/NiroEV today. Kia, movement that inspires.
Hey, and welcome to Fan Theory Queries, where we analyze fan theories from all over the internet, but mostly Reddit. I'm Laura.
I'm Michael.
And I'm Spencer. Welcome back, Laura. I missed you.
Thank you. I have
Yes,
a voice
welcome
and
back.
everything. It's so wonderful.
Yeah, it was like cosmic justice because I made fun of Laura for her voice when we were recording without her, and then I immediately lost my voice like 5 days later. So
Yes, you got laryngitis immediately after, so
Yes. God definitely has a sense of humor.
I
that's
wasn't
what
laughing.
happens.
God's
Yeah,
not
you had
very
no
funny
voice.
then.
Anyway, so the fan theory that we're going to be discussing in this episode is from Hook. I'm a fan of the movie, and it wasn't until like in my adult life that I found out there are people who are just vehemently against the movie Hook.
That doesn't make any sense.
I don't get
I've
it.
never heard that before.
There are people who legitimately just hate this film.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I've been aware of people that don't like it, but I've never really quite understood. Like, I think it's a fun movie. I mean, it is what it is. It's not meant to be canon with like the Disney version of Peter Pan, which are there's a reason why a lot of those people don't like this one, because they feel like it strays too far from the classic Disney film. But I don't
Which
care.
is dumb because that's not even the like
Right. It's not the original.
Disney
That was a
doesn't
remake.
own that.
Yeah.
Or maybe they do. Well, they own the rights because they made that. But I mean, anyway,
Yeah.
I digress. So this theory is that Tinkerbell aided Hook in the kidnapping of Peter Pan's kids to lure Peter, whom she loves, back to Neverland. And this comes from user feet are just poop hands, but they said it a different way. Parents, I'll let you take care of that. So OP states, I don't know why, but it took me many years and many viewings of Hook for it to click that Tinkerbell is madly in love with Peter. There are many scenes to support this, such as the clock transformation scene, the scene in London when Peter kisses Moira, etc. So when Peter doesn't return to Neverland, Tinkerbell keeps tabs on Peter as he grows older. She, in all likelihood, saw him grow up under Wendy's wing, court Moira, have kids, and so on. Somewhere along the line, she becomes fed up with waiting around for him to grow tired of his life of success outside of Neverland and decides to do something about it. When she discovers that Pan will return to London with his children, she hatches a plot to give Hook Pan's whereabouts and have his children kidnapped. The scene where Smee is proving Pan's identity to Hook is the scene where it all comes together. Smee says that he got a medical history provided by Miss Bell, Tinkerbell, meaning that Tinkerbell gave Smee and Hook everything she had learned about Peter over the years. Obviously, she doesn't have a problem talking with Hook, as they seem comfortable in speaking when she negotiates the term of their, quote, war. She's as interested in the old Pan coming back as Hook is. Goodness, she was the one that dragged him back to Neverland in the first place. She wants him to forget about his wife and children and stay with her in Neverland like old times. But as the film progresses, she sees him become the old Pan again. She has regrets. The penultimate scene is in her clock just after Peter has gotten his happy thought. When she asks the question, "Why are you in Neverland?" It could have several different meanings. One, it's an attempt to remind Peter that he's here to save his kids. Two, she's trying to clue him in that she's the reason he's back, that she's in love with him. Or three, she's regretful of her decision, so she's asking herself the question almost to say, why did I bring you back? When she transforms and gives Peter a kiss, it's a last-ditch effort to express her feelings for him, but the gesture flies right over his head, and he is jolted back into remembering his wife and kids. In the end, Tinkerbell resolves to fade out of Peter's life when he returns to London. I also believe that she slipped fairy dust in with Toodle's marbles to give Peter a way to come back if he ever so desired. This is, of course, thwarted when Toodles decides to go for a fly around Big Ben.
Hmm.
I love Toodles.
Yeah.
I've lost my marbles.
Man.
Oh my gosh. But like I was saying, this movie, I think it's so much fun.
It's so good.
The cast is incredible. And so it was so much fun to watch as a kid. But then as an adult to go back and watch it and see all of the things that Spielberg snuck into the, well, particularly actors that he snuck into the cast.
Like Glenn
Yeah.
Close.
Yeah, and Phil Collins. Seeing Maggie Smith. That was the first time I ever saw Maggie Smith was in this movie.
I think me too.
Same. And I just love the idea of Robin Williams playing an adult Peter Pan. That just, to me, is perfect.
It's so perfect.
Yeah.
He does it so well. I mean, it was. Yeah, I mean, I would not be surprised to find out that it was written with him in mind, even if that's not the case.
Yeah.
That has to be.
Yeah, it's so funny because of him. But like, I laughed whenever thinking about her taking Peter Pan away, because she makes him fall asleep, right? And she carries him away in this bundle, like
It was like in
a
the
sheet.
kids. There was a sheet that they had used to make some kind of like fort or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, it was just funny. A funny thought. A happy thought.
Well, and then like Dustin Hoffman's performance as Captain Hook.
Yeah, so for the longest time, I didn't like Dustin Hoffman because of his performance. Like, just as an actor, I was like, I don't like that name. I don't want to see any movie that man is in because he's such a mean villain.
Yep, he did such a good job playing the bad guy in this that it just kind of stuck.
Yeah.
There's something though about the Captain Hook villain that he's not, at least particularly the way it's written in this script and the way that Dustin Hoffman performs it, it's not that just straight up evil guy. Like, there are these relatable moments when he's just he's being a human, he's having human conversations with people instead of seeming like this other, like a whole different creature almost. Some people are so evil, some characters are so evil that it's like you can't relate to them at all. But there's something about Dustin Hoffman that it's still kind of charismatic. And
so one more question.
And I love Bob. I'm sorry, I have to throw in, I also love Bob Hoskins as Smee. That was the movie that made me fall in love with that man. I've had an epiphany. or no, an apostrophe. Is that what he said? Lightning struck my brain.
Yeah, epiphany is Michael Scott.
Oh yeah, he had an apostrophe.
So I want to ask y'all, and then I'll let you take the conversation. Did you guys were both of you horrified when Dustin Hoffman took his wig off for the first time?
No, I thought it was funny. Personally,
I guess I'd never experienced someone wearing a wig like that, and so I was like, "What?"
Well, I feel like we saw the wig on a wig head first, because there's this whole scene before we see Dustin Hoffman's face. We see him getting ready, and one of the things is removing the wig from the wig head.
Yeah, I guess just as a kid, maybe not putting that together of here's this formidable guy with this big hat and hair, and then all of a sudden here's without it, and he just looked weird. Anyway.
I'm sorry, I've got the IMDb page up, and it's showing a trailer, and just like the genius of, they've got the line that Hook walked through the front door of the Darling's house and drug his hook along the wall.
Yeah.
That was just that's so good.
That was such a creepy sequence.
Man.
So I want to
ask.
movie.
The theory. Let's actually talk about the theory now.
Yeah.
I don't know about y'all, but it was obvious to me even as a kid. I thought that Tinkerbell had feelings for Peter Pan.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Even in the Disney cartoon, it's pretty obvious.
I absolutely agree.
Okay.
I don't know that. I mean, I always thought that she was in love with him, but I never put two and two together that she helped Hook
Yeah.
kidnap the kids.
Mhm.
That's what, at least that's what OP is theorizing here.
Yeah.
That was never anything that crossed my mind.
Me either.
What do y'all think about that little tidbit about Smee mentioning that she had provided a piece of proof that this is the real Hook? Or I
Yeah.
mean, the real Peter Pan.
That's something that I never even noticed before.
Me either.
Watching this, and I mean, it seems like pretty solid evidence for me.
Mhm.
But like you said, I never would have put two and two together on this before, and even thought, even remotely, that Tinkerbell had worked with Hook and any of that in this. But I mean, a lot of the stuff that OP is saying is making sense to me, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially the bit with Smee. That's for me kind of
Mhm.
like a nail in the coffin.
Okay.
What do you
Well,
think?
I've got,
Go ahead.
so go ahead.
I was
No,
gonna
you
say-
go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, what is her plan? So the theory states she wants him to forget about his wife and children and stay with her in Neverland, like old times. Like, does she just
Yeah.
think he'll get there? And like, I could understand.
Well, so remember in Neverland, you start forgetting
Mm-hmm.
because when he does become the Pan,
Mhm.
that he goes right back into that mentality and he does forget that he's married and has kids.
Yeah, and also you
Oh.
don't age. So
That-
if he's
Mhm.
there, then not only is he going to be his old self again, but they can live there together forever.
Right. What I was just gonna say, if his kids are there, I forgot that. I forgot that they forget. Because I was gonna say, well, if his kids are there, how
The
that's
kids are forgetting too. In fact, the son, Jack, he's already forgetting, and because Hook is convincing him that Hook is his dad.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he's convincing
Yeah.
him that he's his dad. He's just trying to say that he's a better dad than, like, he was trying to basically
Well,
turn
it's
him
erasing
against.
the memory of Pan being his dad
We're just
to
trying to-
replace him that Hook is his father.
He's just trying to get him on his side because he's pointing out all the flaws in what is Peter Pan's character real name?
Peter Banning.
Oh, so I'll just say Peter. He's just saying, like, here's all the, and then he goes through that tirade of smashing clocks for all the things that made him mad about his dad. I just saw that as Hook just trying to manipulate him and turn him against his dad so that he wasn't on his side when it came to, like, him rescuing. Like, we didn't want them to want to be rescued. That's
Yeah.
the way
Well,
I
I-
took that.
They did forget because that's the whole thing behind the little sister singing the song. That's a lullaby that their mother sang to them because
Mm-hmm.
the big brother is forgetting. I'm thinking like the older you are, the faster you lose your memories there.
Yeah.
Because she's able to hold on to her memories and she remember because she's saying, Jack, remember mom, remember dad. And yeah,
Okay.
I can remember that part vividly of the
Yeah.
movie.
Where would she get? So the medical history provided by Miss Bell. So
Mhm.
this her monitoring him from over the years.
Mm-hmm.
So she's able
Right,
to do that.
because pixies are able to go back and forth between
Mhm.
Right.
Neverland and our world.
Okay.
And so I guess she's been swooping in to spy on him or check in on him.
And this was let's see, because I'm trying to. It's been a while. They're in London for a visit, right? They don't live there.
No, they live in the United States. They went over
Right.
to London because his wife, Moira, is Wendy Darling's. Maggie Smith's character is Wendy.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So they went back to go visit her because she was getting an honor from the Great Ormond Street Hospital.
Okay. That's right. And last question: can Tinkerbell only go to London?
I'm guessing that that's the closest point from their star,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
which I mean, scientifically speaking, that doesn't make any sense.
Mhm.
Sorry, Blythe.
Yeah.
But I guess that star is only over London.
Apparently.
That's just how J.M. Barrie wrote it, and they had to keep to that canon, I
Yeah.
guess.
Okay. I'm just trying to, think through this through. I'm trying to figure out exactly why she waited until this point. So I guess if it's easier for her to get to London, I guess she would have had to wait till the next time Peter made it to London.
True, but I do
Yeah.
want to say there's something here in the highlighted comments that I think will
Okay.
be good.
Yeah, let's
Okay,
get to
so
those.
So from New Leaf 37, they said, I'm going to check out that medical history scene. Until then, I'm withholding judgment on this one. Then they come back and say, edit. With the movie up on Netflix and another tab, the line I heard was, I've got a sworn affidavit from T. Bell. I've got his medical history, and so on. Separate things, but this still lends remarkable credibility to your theory, as well as explaining how Hook got his ship to England in the first place. Pixie dust. You've made a believer out of me.
Yeah,
Hmm.
that's a good point.
Okay.
If he even took the ship, he could have just, I guess, flown kind of like Peter and
Right.
Peter does and whatever.
I like having this image of Dustin Hoffman as Hook flying, like waving, like he's swimming through the air, basically.
Yeah. Okay, so this is the next comment that I think is a really good one. This comes from Chahoy, and they say, I know I'm late to the discussion because this whole theory was written 8 years ago, and this comment is from 1 year ago. But so they said, I know I'm late to the discussion. I agree with almost all of this. However, how do we explain Smee sweeping up empty bottles at the end of the movie when Peter wakes up in London?
Mm-hmm.
I think Tink and Smee were the masterminds, and Smee wanted to escape Neverland and Hook's tyrannical rule over him. So Smee and Tink leveraged Hook's obsession with fighting Peter, knowing that Peter would win and kill Hook. As a result, Tink would be able to get Peter back to Neverland, and Smee, due to Hook's death, could have his freedom. Everything worked out for Smee, shown by his happiness when he's sweeping the bottles. Also, during the battle towards the end of the film, Smee doesn't lift a finger during the fight. Instead, he runs back to the captain's quarters and starts stuffing his pants with gold, knowing the plan was coming to fruition. Boom.
That's very interesting.
I really like that.
Me too. I think that makes much more sense that
Yeah.
they're not on Hook's side. They're using Hook.
Yeah. Well, essentially, they're using Hook and Peter in their forever combativeness and feud. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. Is their feud to basically get rid of Hook and get out.
Well, it's Smee getting out, and then Tink was hoping that she was going to get to keep Peter in Neverland forever. It was just Tink's part of the plan didn't backfire, but Smee was like, sorry about you.
Yeah.
Peace, and headed out anyway.
Yeah.
Just left her behind. I mean, I kind of like that idea, especially if we are thinking, that like Toodles was one of the lost boys. Well, I mean, he was, because like my favorite lost boy, Thudbutt, talks about Toodles and his marbles.
Well, I'm having trouble with the whole forgetting thing. Like, but they don't forget everything. Like, what are they are they forgetting their life outside of Neverland? Is that what they forget?
Yes.
Okay.
But when you leave Neverland, you forget that too, because that's how that's the whole dinner scene.
Yeah.
Remember, Peter?
Yeah.
Anything else? We feel good?
Yeah,
I think
I'm
so.
ready to give a final rating on this.
Well, then let's take a quick break, and we'll be right back to give our ratings.
If saving more and spending less is one of your top goals for 2023, why are you still paying insane amounts of money every month for your phone bill? Right now, when you switch to Mint Mobile, you'll get their unlimited plan for 50% off. As the first company to sell premium wireless service online only, Mint Mobile lets you order from home and save a ton with phone plans starting at just $15 a month. All plans come with unlimited talk and text, plus high-speed data delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/save. That's mintmobile.com/save. Hurry. Offer ends January 15th.
Where's the strangest place you've lost your car keys? Inside the refrigerator, the washer or dryer, the trunk of your car, the kitty litter box? Well, good news, because even if you've lost your keys on the moon, you can still unlock your car and get where you're going with available digital key in the 2023 all-new Kia Niro EV. Farther for all. To learn more, visit kia.com/NeroEV today. Kia, movement that inspires.
All right, we're back. None of us have flown away to Neverland yet. We're all still here, right? I'm here. You here?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay, good deal. So,
We lost Spencer.
Spencer, you there?
I'm in Neverland.
Oh. Anyway, why don't Michael, please? I've forgotten though. Could you remind me of our ratings?
Of course, let's take a trip back to Neverland and get this rating scale. The highest rating that we have is Genius. This is reserved for only the best theories, which we believe are better than the actual canon. The next step down is Plausible. It's a good theory, it's believable. Unlikely is next. It's not a terrible theory, but pretty unlikely, as the name suggests. And then the last thing is Preposterous. These are the theories that are just stupid. Basically, we're all dumber for having listened to them.
Very good. All right, so tell me, what do you think's going on here? Was Tink in on the whole plan, or what?
You know, I'll go first if that's okay. I think that that last comment is probably more accurate than the actual theory. It makes so much more sense. Tink and Smee would be working together to do this, especially after finding out the line that I don't remember at all of Smee saying that he's got a sworn affidavit from T. Bell with his medical history. That to me is, like I said before, the nail in the coffin for this. So rating the actual theory, I'm gonna have to give that one I'm teetering between unlikely and plausible.
Well, because can I interject for just a moment?
Okay. Go ahead.
Because that comment doesn't really like negate anything that was said. It just kind of supplements it. It's because the original theory is just that she worked with Hook to get, which she still would have had to work with Hook. This is just supplementing that Smee was in on it too.
Yeah, that's right. I think I'm gonna side on plausible with this. I don't quite have enough to give it a genius, but yeah, I'm comfortable going plausible.
I'm also gonna go plausible. I think it's definitely a great catch with that line. It's a believable theory. I just don't. Maybe if I watched the movie again more recently, would maybe have a change. But
yeah,
I don't know if I buy that she was in love with him that much and obsessed over him that much that she was willing to put children in danger to get him back, and actually truly believe that he would change his mind and want to stay there, or even or whatever. Like I said, it's plausible, it's believable, but not quite enough there for me to say that it's genius.
Wow, those things you brought up, I feel like those should have been brought up in the discussion.
Well, I saved them for my theory, for my rating.
Well, I'm going to say on the theory alone, it's plausible for myself if I marry the theory and the last highlighted comment together, then it's genius for me.
Yeah.
But on the theory's merits alone, it is plausible for me.
Mm-hmm.
Just because it doesn't explain why. Like how you pointed out why does she have to wait till he comes to London?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like why couldn't she have done this sooner before he became attached and got married and had kids?
Mm-hmm.
Why'd she have to wait? So unless it's just the fact of like, because she's a little fairy, when she goes into like a human size, she is like this, she's kind of, I guess, to our human sensibilities, age proportional to Peter, with him being this age as opposed to him having been like a 13-year-old.
Yeah.
Because it says, so I'm just looking back over this. She in all likelihood saw him grow up under Winnie's ring, court Moira, have kids, and so on. Somewhere along the line, she becomes fed up with waiting around for him to grow tired of his life. So she was expecting him to come back on his own, which is weird because she knows that you forget when you're outside of Neverland. So
true. And why did she wait that long? He's in his 40s at that point.
And clearly very unattractive.
Okay, so that's my rating for it. I think.
All right.
Yep, that's all of us.
Yeah.
Very cool. Since we've all rated, that means it's time to bring this episode to a close. But before we do, guys, I like to bring up these fascinating movie details that I find while I'm browsing Reddit throughout the week. Mm-hmm. And this one's a real winner, because it adds to a theory that we've already discussed on the show about Titanic and time travel.
Okay.
So you can see this as time travel, evidence of time travel, or you can see it as evidence of lack of attention to detail on the scriptwriter and movie maker's part. But this was pointed out by Wayward Son that in Titanic there is a major continuity error. A man sings, "As I walk through the valley of the shadow of death," the opening line from Coolio's Gangsta's Paradise. The Titanic sunk in 1912, so there's no way he could have ever heard this song as it was released in 1995. I mean, that's a pretty...
that's there you have it. I mean, that's
big.
Enough evidence.
I know.
So, like, Jack Dawson, and he's the time traveler. He comes back in time, and when he thinks no one's watching, he sings Gangsta's Paradise.
Gangsta's Paradise.
Yeah, and then this
Somebody
guy
else heard it.
This guy overhears him, so he's like, "Hey, that's catchy. I'm gonna sing that as I'm about to die." Why not?
Yeah.
There we go. Well, nice. Thanks for that. Welcome back to the show.
Mm-hmm.
This has been Fan Theory Queries. I'm Laura.
I'm Michael.
And I'm Spencer. In our next episode, we ask, is Grandpa Joe the one responsible for his family's poverty?
Where's the strangest place you've lost your car keys? Inside the refrigerator, the washer or dryer, the trunk of your car, the kitty litter box? Well, good news, because even if you've lost your keys on the moon, you can still unlock your car and get where you're going with available digital key in the 2023 all-new Kia Niro EV. Farther for all. To learn more, visit kia.com/NiroEV today. Kia, movement that inspires.